shackles. Don't want no shackles on me. Don't want no shackles. Don't want no shackles on me. I sit down with Big Brother. Don't like those RFIDs. Got the blues about my freedom. Got the blues about tyranny. I got the blues about my freedom. Got the blues about tyranny. I sat down with Big Brother and the national ID. Don't want a chip in my wallet, chip in my car. And if I want to travel, it's nobody's business how far. Don't want no shackles. Don't want no shackles on me. I said shame on Big Brother, always tracking and tracing me. Don't want a chip in my mother, chip in my wife, a chip in my babies. Stay out of our life. Don't want no shackles. Don't want no shackles on me. I sat down with Big Brother. No more slavery. Play it for me, baby.
This country starts early. It works hard. It stays focused. It keeps moving. It stands ready. And it carries the weight. Strong coffee for a strong nation.
This is all you ever hear about in this country is our differences. It's all they ever talk about. Politicians and the media always pushing the things that separate us, things that make us different. That's the way the ruling class operates in any society. They divide the rest of the people. They keep the lower and the middle classes fighting with each other so that they, the rich, can run off with all the fucking money. Fairly simple thing. Fairly simple thing. Happens to work. Anything that's different about us, you know that's what they're pushing at you. Racial differences, religious, ethnic, national backgrounds, jobs, income, education, social status, sexuality, anything they can do to keep us fighting with each other so that they can keep going to the bank.
It's a big club, and you ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club.
Why do you think politics feels more like a team sport than democracy?
Because that's exactly what it became. George Washington warned people about this a long time ago. He called it the spirit of party, and he said once political parties took hold, they'd start serving themselves instead of the public. And that's exactly what happened. Loyalty goes to the machine, not the country. They protect the brand, protect the tribe, protect the donors, protect the power, and the public gets whatever's left after the fundraising and the damage control. That's the bargain now. You cheer for your colors, they keep the scoreboard lit, and everybody acts like the game's what matters. Washington understood that once parties get strong enough, they stop asking what's good for the people and start asking what's good for the party. And once that happens, democracy turns into maintenance. Maintain the power, maintain the loyalty, maintain the illusion.
Keep it home, baby.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Welcome everybody back to another Talking with Conspiracy, and I have echo out the world. There we go. little echo going. Maybe y'all like that little moment there. What's up? What's up, everybody? Appreciate y'all being here with number 103 with Talking with Conspiracy. This sign of, I guess, coming on in a couple of weeks. Y'all will guarantee enjoy that. Excited to see him come on and talk. It's gonna be a good time. What's up, James and Sweets? Appreciate y'all being here. Like I said, we're going to have a fun one. I'm going to play around and probably sit here, maybe one of the three. Yeah. It's all good. Yeah, it takes a second everybody get going, and I was almost late. But what's up, Blake and Monkey? Should be, like I said, it's going to be a fun one. What's up, Charlie Rose? Appreciate you being here. I figure we're going to have a fun video to start off and give a chance to everybody to get here. So before we get started talking this and that and whatever the hell, who knows where the conversation will go. I have the title. It's loosely of what's going to happen tonight. We'll see how it goes. But here's a Frisbee video to start the show.
Sometimes you find yourself with an opinion. That's all it is, a point of view. You ain't gonna kill people with it. You ain't gonna stab someone with your opinion. But it's not the opinion they want you to have. It's not the right opinion. So you keep it to yourself. And they tell you their opinion. You may not even want to hear it, but they tell you. I'm not talking about taxi drivers here, but left-wing comedians. They tell you their opinion. Man, they shove it down your throat. And you say, well, I'm not sure that's right. Could be another side to that. And they look at you, and they say, you're a far-right racist, homophobe. You're a fascist, you're a sexist, you're a xenophobe. You gammon, you ideologue, you chauvinist. You Tory scum, you capitalist. You're a bigot, you're a wingnut, you're a swivel-eyed loon. And you'll get your freaking justice, you extremist buffoon. You're spreading hate, you're spreading hate, you're spreading hate. So, this guy I met was telling me about Jeremy Corbyn, how he's gonna save the country. And I was like, I'm not convinced about that guy. And he was saying, no, socialism is the best way to help people. And I said, I'm not sure about that either. I'm not sure a lot of people even want helping out. A lot of them just want to be left alone. And he started telling me that these people need helping out, even if they don't know it. And socialism is the way. And I started thinking of places where they tried socialism. Russia, China, Germany had that national socialism thing going on. Cuba, Venezuela ain't working so well today. And I couldn't think of one where it had worked. And he said, no, that wasn't real socialism. And I said, are you sure? And he looked at me, and he said, you're a far-right racist, homophobe. You're a fascist, you're a sexist, you're a xenophobe. You patriarch, you're biphobic, transphobic, Islamophobic. I'm offended by your views, you should do a lot of time. Having wrong opinions is a hate crime. You're spreading hate, you're spreading hate, you're spreading hate. So I went for a drink in that place, Weatherspoons. And there was this girl outside with a loud hailer telling people that they shouldn't go in, since that guy, Tim Martin, the owner, came out in favor of Brexit. She said, if you go into Weatherspoons, you are funding hate. And I said, it's only £3.50 a pint. I ain't funding that much hate. And I said, I'm part Italian. I've seen the youth unemployment in Southern Europe, and I don't support that. EU might not be such a good thing. Big government, big corporations, big tech. For me, it's all part of the same problem. And I think decisions are better made locally. And she looked at me, and she said,
You're a far-right racist, homophobe. You're a fascist, you're a sexist, you're a xenophobe. Your views are so bad, your views are so wrong. I'm having a meltdown, I just can't carry on. You're literally Hitler, you're literally him. You must be excommunicated for this wrong thing. You're spreading hate, you're spreading hate, you're spreading hate. Mental explosion!
Oh, that song going so wild. What's up, Ms. Karen? Appreciate you listening. What's up, Just? Appreciate Sweets letting you know. Appreciate y'all being here and everything. Like I said, we're going to try to have some fun. I got some fun videos on some of the things going on, some discussions, just sitting here talking. And see how it goes tonight. We got plenty to talk about. I know we got the G7 convention going on. Trump walking around there and walked in the room and told everybody I'm the boss, and everybody clapped. Crazy mess. Just the more you look at it, the more you see, the more you think it really is. It's just all a damn circus. It's all a TV show. It feels that way sometimes. It really does. It absolutely feels that way. Got a few other alien videos to show tonight. I got a few other this and that, some random stuff. Yeah, we'll never know. Like I said, we never know how to go. I'm just glad I got here and get everything done on time. Now, no guest or co-host today. I'm running solo, Blake. It ain't the worst thing in the world. So, Toronto dump. That's it. And I had the UFC last weekend. 250 extravaganza. It was a great night of fights now. I'll give it that. Every fight was a knockout, which is something you don't hear very often. I say it was a good night of fights. And then where did I put that at? I'm trying to remember where I put that at. And you have, Dana White talking. I got a video of it talking about it was just amazing. It was just meant to be. They separated the storm went around Washington D.C. so they had no storm during the fights and. James. And it's like, shit, the government is putting something on and something like this, and they spent this much money. If they want it to really happen, they have the ability to adjust things that they know. What's up, Skunk Holla? Let's see. What about bookmarks here? Over here reading chat. There's a bunch of flowers blooming, and it's been a rainy season so far. Really late, lose these April showers. Now it's May and June. Maybe it's part of that pole shift where it's moving along at an increasing rate. I don't know. Who knows? Unless I got a little bit of videos, a little bit of stuff today. I don't have a whole lot. Like I said, I figured I'd come talk to y'all and be fun. Just maybe more discussion. Who knows? Somebody decides to appear. Who knows on that too? You never know. You never know what's going to happen around here. Because anything is possible. Absolute. I'll put myself down here, my little bubble. Do. Yeah.
We're ready. We have the best. This isn't like the Channel 7 meteorologist.
Right.
We have like the military, right? We got like the best guys in the world. We're absolutely positively getting hit. It's going to hit. So we got a team. We're ready. When it hits, we're going to get out there and clean everything up as best we can. And then we're going to go on at 9 o'clock. Okay.
Right.
I think it was 9 o'clock, between 9 and 9:30. Okay.
Right.
We're going to go after the rain. The storm comes and splits at the White House and goes around the White House in the ellipse.
Like divine intervention.
Well, the president believes that to his core, that, it was divine intervention.
I saw the.
Yeah. But they said they didn't pay for it. Yeah. Supposedly, the UFC, they paid for everything. They spent a whole lot of money. I know they asked Dana White if they're going to do it again. He's like, hell no. I just, we can't afford to, spend all this money. And, hell, like Gaethje got $800,000 in bonuses. I think for his win. It's crazy. But right there at the White House, I mean, that's just like, hey, look, we can do whatever the hell we want to do to the weather. It really is. I mean, but I've seen it now. I've seen it rain in the front yard, not the backyard. I've seen storms come in, hit the bluff, jump Memphis. I've seen bad storms come through, hit the bluff, jump Memphis, and like level half of Jackson, with tornadoes and stuff. Like, it can happen, but one of them things like really, we know, we posted videos and showed the cloud seeding they've done. We had the president, the owner, of one of the companies, showing his video, talking about it. Talk about how it's easier to make snow. And of course, and they're going to roll that out around January. And of course, that's when we get the big freak ice storm that wouldn't melt. Just coincidences, folks. Just coincidences. That's all. Coinkydinks. Yeah. It was a big tax write-off. Absolute huge tax write-off. Guarantee you. I mean, it was. They doing something like that, something for the government. That saved them from having to buy some new trucks and cars and whatever the hell else, and for their taxes that year, next year, whatever. That's a huge tax write-off. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is possible, that the rain could have went around the warehouse. I mean, White House warehouse. I guess I'm so used to the warehouses in my head from scrapping and stuff. I've been scrapping an electric warehouse and on the side, and yeah, the word warehouse is in my head. I sleep about it and dream about it. But the White House. But if it to do exactly what he said it did, like it opened up right before the White House and went back together behind the White House. I mean, it is possible. Storms can do whatever the hell they want to do. It's just like tornadoes; they can do whatever the hell they want to do. They can pick up a house, throw a house, leave a bookcase with all its books in it, but they pick the house up and chunk it. I've seen them throw 2x4s through trees and, level the whole block and then pick up and leave a house or two and then sit back down and take out everything else. It's Mother Nature can do a lot of amazing things, but Charlie said it's saying quinkadinks. Yeah, I like that word, quinkadink. It's just a quinkadink. It really is. That's all. That's all. Nothing to see here. Nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about here. Let me show some of my random videos here. Some of my random mess. Like I said, it's kind of light. I've been busy, running around like a chicken with my head cut off. Trying to get ready for this match in this cage and just remodeling and scrapping and podcasting and gym, and man, it's tiresome sometimes. Check this poor dude out though. Dude went into work in Atlanta.
Like I was literally, I only been working 4 hours to my new job, new location, and look, check this out. Getting in my car, you know what I'm saying? Getting in my car and stuff. Must be the battery. You think it's the battery? Nah. Let me show you something. Y'all ready? Y'all ready for this? Look, check this out. They took my fucking engine. They took the fucking engine. And it took them 4 hours to do so. I'm not even mad, bro. I'm just impressed. How do you do this shit, bro? Like the black man just want to make it. You know what I'm saying? Like, god damn. You could have just took the damn car and left me the engine. But you took the motherfucking engine.
Everyone knows crime is an issue in Atlanta, but let's just take a look at the demographics here. About 48% of the population is
It's crazy. You go to work and turn around, if the engine's fucking gone. I'm impressed how neat. Yeah, I kind of find it hard to believe on it too. It don't make sense. I don't know if it's real or not. It's not an AI video, but like, I mean, I know I've seen people they can do it fast, but maybe they get it. It could be an insurance scam. What's up, Conspiriality? Appreciate you being here. What's up, Matt Al? Yeah. I'm with it. I mean, if it is real, why not? I mean, more convenient, just steal the car. Like, hey, they didn't get all kinds of parts off of it. Why would you just take the engine? I mean, I guess maybe that's what they need. Maybe that car needs an engine. Hey, I don't need the rest. Here you go. I don't know. Crazy world. Crazy world. Speaking of crazy world, this is kind of the self-driving cars and stuff. I guess this is a positive on one of them. What's up, Brother Willie? Willie's Desert Hangout. Y'all got to check out Brother Willie. He plays some good music on his channel. They might have had one on the back of a truck, Mazal. They might have had maybe. Or some big boys and grab it and snatch it out, which I don't believe that. That's great. That's no way. I mean, I've seen it, but yeah, the chances of that are slimmer. But if you have somebody with a boom or something, a sling truck, like a little crane, like I got on the back of mine, yeah, I mean, you could pull it out. But yeah, and nobody's seen it for 4 hours. Somebody's over here tearing into this damn dude's car. I guess because he's new, they didn't know whose this was. Maybe, I don't know. It don't seem, something seems fishy on it. But I wanted to share it. If it's real, ATL is crazy now. They are, and it is a wild, wild world down there in ATL. But check this out with this Tesla.
I wake up, it's 3:30 in the morning. I look at my phone and my dad's calling, and I was like, something must be up. So I answer the phone and he says, Jack, I'm in trouble.
Thursday and Friday I was having heartburn. It was really bad. And I've had it before. I would drink some water, maybe some apple cider vinegar, it would be fine. So I knew it was something a little bit different here. But once it started to hit pain scale, I'm probably at like an 8 or a 9 out of 10 now. And I'm like, okay, I'm in trouble.
My first question that I asked him when he called me was, are you on FSD?
And then the pain kind of went to the next level, kind of like an 11 out of 10.
We kind of just jumped into planning mode. I pick up my phone, open the Tesla app, and I search the hospital, and I press it, boom, navigate. And immediately the car was able to just reroute and turn them around.
I was sitting there processing it, got off, and it took to left. It got me back going into Atlanta. I knew what the capability was and it was going to do it. I just knew it.
Having a system that is able to drive so well and safely and get there in a timely manner was so crucial, because in talking with the medical team, this was a seconds mattered situation, that if he'd gotten there minutes later, this could have been a totally different story.
That's a conspiracy. I had seen your comment. Oh, ATL. Never mind. I don't believe it. Yeah. ATL, yeah. It's it is possible in ATL. The ones who don't know, who's from around, maybe across the pond, that's Atlanta, Georgia, for the ones who don't know what that is. Yeah, they don't need to pay for an ambulance. And ambulances are high. Last time I had to ride an ambulance, it was $1,600 for a mile. I told a bunch of people, y'all just throw me in the back of my truck or on the hood of it. I don't care, and drive me before I pay $1,600 for a mile ride. Especially for that, when I dislocated my kneecap. And hell, it was my students that carried me out. It wasn't even the paramedics. Because, say this nicely, they weren't physically able to carry me down a flight of stairs. We'll say that. So I'll leave it at that. There was no way they were doing it. And I've seen this here.
Starship was able to do a soft landing in the Indian Ocean, just west of Australia, which and it got there from Texas in 35, 40 minutes type of thing. So
it landed even though you put it through this situation where it has compromised shield.
It had an unusually, we brought it in hot, like an extra hot trajectory with missing tiles. To see if it would still make it to a soft landing, which it did. Now, I should point out, there were some holes that were burnt into it, but it was robust enough to land despite having some holes burnt into it. Because it's coming in like a blazing meteor. You can see the real-time video.
Well, tell me the speed again, because the speed was bananas. You were talking about
it's like 17,000 miles an hour, we'll call it like 25 times the speed of sound or thereabouts. So. So think about it's like 12 times faster than a bullet from an assault rifle. Bullet from an assault rifle is around Mach 2.
And it's huge.
Yeah. Yeah. Or if you compare it to like a bullet from a a 45 or 9 mil, which is subsonic, that's, it'll be about 30 times faster than a bullet from a handgun.
30 times faster than a bullet from a handgun, and it's the size of a skyscraper.
Yes. Yeah. That's fast.
It's so wild. It's so wild
Yeah.
to see, man. It's so exciting. The factor is so exciting too, because like genuinely, no bullshit, I felt like I was witnessing history. I felt like it was a scene in a movie where someone had expectations and they like, what are they doing? They're building rockets, and you go there. And as we were walking through, Jamie, you could speak to this too. Didn't you have the feeling where you're like, oh, this is way bigger than I thought it was. This is
huge. It's awesome. It's gigantic.
Fucking crazy.
That's what she said.
The amount.
I don't know if that joke's ever going to get old. It's going to take a long time for that joke gets old. What she said. One more with Dana White. I thought this was funny, though. He's Dana White with hair. His son looks like a combination of Dana and Joe Rogan kind of look. I don't know. Tell me I'm wrong.
My oldest son hits me up today and says, Dad, don't fight with me. Don't argue with me, whatever. But I want to tattoo the American flag on my back. I said, you are not tattooing the American flag on your back. I'll buy you an American flag shirt in every color, and you can wear it every day for the rest of your life. You are not tattooed. But that is what I was hoping to get out of this experience, for young people and just everybody. I was looking for some unity and people to be proud on the 250th birthday of America. My son.
That'd be crazy to have the American flag tattooed on your back. That'd be a wild tattoo for sure. Especially if they did it like a waving flag or whatever they did, not just a flat picture or whatever, I guess you say, actually made it look more lifelike. Maybe it'd be sick, but my luck, if I did something like that and turned around and got like something crazy huge like that, then all of a sudden they add like a new star. We're adding Venezuela and Puerto Rico as states. Now we've got 52 stars in the damn thing, and I'm like, damn. How are you supposed to? How you gonna fix that? Put a little asterisk, little star to the side, and like 2 stars here or something. Here's what all the aliens are doing to us right now.
UFO over my house.
It's about how the aliens feel about us right now, I think. That's why they won't talk to us. Or maybe they are. Maybe they're talking to Trump right now. You keep seeing them. I don't have a picture of it on the thing. But have y'all seen the pictures of the Nordic looking aliens? They keep people posting around, as like they're real, or maybe it is a real picture, I don't know. I don't see what y'all think about them Nordic looking aliens they keep showing with Trump, having conversations with them. And I said, I think there's for sure some huge monster, the biggest Psyop of all Psyops is coming. It is something. I found this video pretty cool, but I think
There are places on Earth where the line between the known and the unknown wears thin. Brazil is one of them. It's a country of rainforest, rare minerals, and some of the strangest UFO encounters ever recorded.
Era redondo e ele girava.
Lights over the Amazon, beams from the sky, a creature with red eyes and skin that's lethal to the touch. There's no one better to walk us into that mystery than today's guest, Aldo Rebelo.
Dos projetos prioritários.
Brazil's former Minister of Defense, current presidential candidate, and a man who's spent decades at the center of Brazilian power. A man who's probably seen firsthand into the UFO vault, and who said on the record that if the United States opens its own files, he'll open Brazil's.
Claro que sim.
Today, he's also the man who'll look you dead in the eye and tell you that the phenomenon is real.
The records about such unidentified celestial phenomena date back to antiquity. They're not new.
In this unprecedented, candid conversation, we cover it all. We get into the Chupa Chupa attacks in Colares in the 70s, where UFOs in the Amazonian night sky allegedly fired mysterious beams that left villagers with burns, blood loss, and puncture wounds. A multi-month event affecting 200 people. So serious that the Air Force ran a real investigation on it called Operation Prata. We touch on Brazil's mass UFO radar incursions of 1986, an unforgettable night for the Brazilian military. And then there's Varginha, Brazil's very own modern-day Roswell. Rebelo basically acknowledges that in 1996, in the small city of Varginha, something crashed. It was recovered, and a non-human creature, or multiple creatures, with slick, oily brown skin and big red eyes, was seen by multiple witnesses, and even treated by a neurosurgeon in a hospital. I know that sounds like a Spielberg movie you'd want to watch. It's actually a case that Spielberg is familiar with. Except this isn't Hollywood. This is the former Brazilian Minister of Defense sitting across from me, telling me it was real. In America, our equivalent would be a former Secretary of Defense, like a Jim Mattis or a Robert Gates, saying that Roswell was real, saying candidly that, yeah, a saucer probably did crash in New Mexico, and beings probably did emerge from it. And in doing so, he gives validation and voice to all the witnesses, researchers, doctors, military personnel, and ordinary people who have been attacked, dismissed, and ridiculed over this subject for decades. And he provides shelter and safe haven to those who haven't come out yet.
Believing that a phenomenon like this exists. Of course.
To Rebelo, the real question isn't whether the phenomenon has occurred. It's where it came from, why it was here, and what it means for the future of science, society, defense, and where humanity stands in the universe. So with that, enjoy this historic conversation with Aldo Rebelo, Brazil's former Minister of Defense, current presidential candidate, and the man who'll tell you that some of the strangest stories you've ever heard might also be the truest.
I tell you, looking for the damn. Where's it at? Yeah. I watched that Moment of Contact documentary where they talked about, the amazing Bardella. Where was it? What the name of it is? Where is it at? The three little girls actually seen the creature hiding over to the side. It's pretty amazing, like amazing stuff. I wonder, how they're doing down in South America a while back. was it earlier this year or late last year where they had the skin, uh, I forget what the name of it they were given or whatever, but one of the women was able to escape, and one of them sound like American, one of them sound like local. They had like these jetpack things going or whatever. I just wonder if it ain't like wasn't us testing on them poor people. Wouldn't put it past them. You know, hey, here's a new weapon right here. Let me let me fire it on these poor village people that, you know, no consequence to their in their mindset. Make it look supernatural, make it look whatever. You know, sadly that's, you know, it's happened. You know, it's happened before. You know, if you look at a lot of release projects and declassified stuff, we know they did all kinds of testing. We know they did. They even, you know, down in the Philippines and stuff, they actually hung people upside down. You know, captured people, killed them, punctured holes in their side, make it look like a vampire, hung them upside down to drain their blood, and then hung them up and dropped them back off, so it made it look like vampires kill people. You know, and that's what the government has done. The American government has done over through the years. Testing laser weapons, I don't see. Wouldn't be a far stretch. But I wondered on the with them three girls that seen that alien and stuff like that. You know, they were really, really traumatized by it. You know, and it's just so much is coming out for aliens and UFOs and USOs and UAPs and whatever you want to damn call the damn things. Disclosure movie's out. Who's seen the new Disclosure movie? I wonder in the chat there, y'all. Y'all raise your hand if you've seen the new Disclosure movie. What do you think of it? I want to go see it, be honest, and see what the hubbub is, and maybe try to catch it. I don't know. We'll see. I gotta get a moment of time before I can, but like you just keep on and on. Like here, NASA flight surgeon confirms U.S. Air Force reverse engineered non-human craft in '92. In a bombshell revelation that ripping through UAP community, retired NASA chief flight surgeon and former U.S. Air Force Major Dr. Gregory Rogers has broken 33 years of silence on a classified '92 encounter at Cape Canaveral. I guess that's how you say it. I don't know. While inspecting facilities, an Air Force major pulled him into a secure room and showed live security footage of a 20-foot white flying saucer, 8 to 10 foot tall with a shadow dome, hovering just 3 feet off the ground inside a military hangar. It rotated smoothly in place with zero visible propulsion, surrounded by personnel in lab coats and hazmat suits. Crucially, it bore clear U.S. Air Force markings and insignia. You know, just like, you know, the Nazis did, and they had their UFOs and stuff back in the day, too. Disclosure movie sounds kind of, I've heard torn 50-50 on this, Karen. Like I've heard it's good, then I heard it's just really cookie, like just there's no real good story to it. It's like the same old, same old. You know, but it looks like he rehashed some of the, you know, from older movies and stuff like that. I don't know. Which, you know, I wouldn't doubt it. I know the flying saucer that they had. you know, it looked like the same one from like Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Ironically, truly, I don't know if y'all, some of y'all heard before or not, but like that kind of style, like UFO, is what I seen when I was a little kid years and years ago. Except for it wasn't a whole bunch of clouds. It's like one cloud with that kind of light and everything coming out of it. So it was very, it stuck out like a sore thumb. And I remember it was started getting dusk. And I looked out the window and I seen it sitting there as we drove by coming back to Memphis. Driving through Mississippi, heading to Memphis. Mempho. And look out the window. I was probably 7, 8 years old, maybe somewhere around there. One of the few memories I have of my childhood, and yeah, look out there, and there's a cloud with like lightning come out of the cloud, and the older I got, the more I try to find it and find like, okay, there's got to be a reasonable thing that happened. There's had to be a scientific, like nature, weather, whatever I seen. I seen lights and lightning look like coming out of this cloud. It was by itself. Had to be some kind of thing, and I hadn't really found it. Well, don't tell me the ending Nostradamus. Come on now. You got to set up for the sequel. You got to set up for the sequel. They're gonna sit there and juice it up. Yeah, James, I could see that for sure. Like I said, I think they probably could use part of this as part of if their disclosure and stuff. They've released the third set of files on the Department of War. On the Department of War site. I don't blame you, conspiracy. I don't blame you, especially I don't know. It's one of them things. It's sad. I hate it because I love watching movies. I have hundreds of movies on DVD in a box, in a big tote or a couple totes, and it's like, but every time you watch them now, you see it and you see all the propaganda. Like I was watching a movie the other day and I turned it off, and it was like it hurt my feelings in a way because I've watched it so many times and I like the movie, but now looking at it with the knowledge I have now, knowing that that's just a whole bunch of propaganda, absolute, in this movie showing like these people are bad, these people are good, these people are saints and angels, basically, and these others are just terrible, evil, and it's like, damn, they put it everywhere, propaganda, which we know they've been doing it since the 30s and 40s and into cartoons and Donald Duck and Popeye and all the rest of it. They put all kinds of different meanings and just straight pure right up in your face propaganda, especially during World War II time. Looking back on it now, it's for sure. It could have some of that stuff said. Matt's house. It was good, but not great. So wait for the stream. In the movie, they use World War III as a catalyst for disclosure. What's going on right now? Dum dum dum. Of course, Trump just signed. I got a video of it. Trump signing that, the deal with Iran and all that good stuff. We'll see how that goes. How long that lasts. Of course, I think oil. Oil's down to $74 a barrel right now. So crude futures. So yeah, it's steadily dropping. So hopefully that means our gas prices will steadily start dropping. Of course, it takes forever. When all this, every damn time it does this. Every time our gas prices go up and then oil drops really, really hard. Of course, you know, I do understand the other side. Like, hey, they paid extra for that fuel when it was higher. So you can't just go, pop, you know, and drop it, you know, and make the gas stations pay the difference or loss or whatever. Though, you know, the gas, you know, oil companies are talking about how big a huge profit they've been making. So, I don't know. Best alien movie is John Carpenter's The Thing. I think John Carpenter has some knowledge because he put some sure enough stuff in his movies. He put some sure enough stuff in his movies. When you look at They Live, you look at what's the other one? I'm picturing the movie. It is a freaky ass movie. Beetlejuice had an alien in it. The new Beetlejuice, I still haven't seen the new Beetlejuice. I hadn't watched too many new movies. The last new movie I seen in the theater was Godzilla -1. So it wasn't even Hollywood. I was supporting, you know, Japanese movies, whatever. Let's see the name of the movie. I'm thinking in my head. Oh, The Prince of Darkness. The Prince of Darkness got some wild stuff in it, if you've never seen that. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. The Close Encounters of the Third Kind, I think, was the... I think the movie my parents went to on their first date. I think it came out in 1978. But I've had this pulled up here for a while. Let me play this video real quick. It's kind of interesting what this guy is talking about here.
And sitting at the center of the coffee table on a pedestal, right, like a three-pronged pedestal, is what I would describe as think of a wizard's orb. Like, quite seriously, little bit smaller than a basketball, has a defined shell, clear looking like wizard's ball, right? Now, here's what's unique about this, okay? It has a defined shell. It's a literal crystal orb, but the inside of this orb, for lack of a better word, was alive. So it had a structure that, if you could imagine almost like, if you were to imagine Jupiter in your mind, and Jupiter's like swirling atmosphere, imagine that inside the sphere, but highly white, highly crystallized, highly like almost you're looking into a VVS diamond. It's fractalized, it's swirling, and it's emitting its own light source. Right, so there's this, it's fixed, defined shell, crystal orb, crystal sphere. There's this inside structure that I can only really attribute to it is alive. It is alive.
How big is it?
A little bit smaller than a basketball. A little bit smaller than a basketball. So like, you know, maybe take a quarter off of your globe on that side.
And what color?
Think like white diamond.
Okay.
The color was really hard on this because it was almost like, think of your studio lights almost, actually. It was like this fractalized light inside of it and outside of it. There wasn't really like a color. It was just this white pure light. And it's emitting light out of it, right? what's interesting, the first thing that I notice is the psychologist goes like, hey, we want you don't have to do anything, just tell me what you think about it. And I look at it, right? So I actually take my two eyes and I lock eye contact with this thing. And as I locked eye contact with it, the inside structure that I described, right, that was like fractalized, like Jupiter's atmosphere kind of swirling, it adapts and it like changes. And it's almost as if this object, as I'm looking at it, is now looking back at me, right? So that is the first thing that I noticed. This happens within like 2 seconds. And when that happens, I actually become like really scared because I also begin feeling this somatic sensation. I felt it very much like literally in my brain, where I almost felt like this thing was coming into me, and it made me like terrified. I didn't ever feel that sensation. It wasn't telepathy. It was like, hey, this thing is almost linking with you, is the way that I actually felt. And I was just like highly terrified of it. I noticed that as I moved my eyes back and forth, right, this inside structure was actually like mirroring my eye movement. And that lasted for 30 seconds. And the blanket was put back over the thing. And the psychologist, his words to me were like, wow, you did great. You did great. You did great. You don't have to do anything. It picks who it likes. And I think it likes you.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That is wild.
And that was the start of my relationship with Sylvia. Yeah.
They named the orb Sylvia?
It was her name. Yeah, it was her name. And I mean that mainly because as I later, this started this relationship to where essentially the people in the program had this thing. I don't know where it came from. I don't know where this crystal orb came from. It was never told to me. The sentient consciousness, as I'll get into and expand as I interact with this, never told me where it was from. It wasn't like, oh, we found this from a spacecraft or we dug this up over anywhere. I will note that the people within the program, the people that were actually shepherding this thing around, didn't call it tech. They called it a relic.
Called it a relic.
Yeah.
And they said its name is Sylvia, or did it transmit its name to you?
So that was my first time interacting with it like locally, right? So it was in the room with me. I had this really quick, like 30-second make eye contact. It looks at me. I could feel it, right? But like that was it. That was it. Now fast forward, right? 3 months later, now I'm back in this facility. I have this trainer, Meg, right? As we're exploring ESP, she brings up like, hey, I heard you met Sylvia, right? And like, can you recall that experience? And I was brought into like another relaxation exercise.
She says, I heard you met Sylvia,
mm-hmm.
that orb thing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Her name is Sylvia.
Yeah. Well, we to back up, there was some context in that conversation. I heard that you were introduced to something, right? And I was actually brought into like this relaxation exercise with Meg, and she was like, do you know what its name is? And as I'm in this relaxation exercise, I could take myself out of body and I almost like make contact. So it's like as if once I was physically linked with this, like device, relic, whatever you want to call it, it was like it developed like a tunnel or a pathway to where like I could communicate with it back. And this began a longer process throughout the program to where they wanted to better understand this thing. So that first example with Meg, I saw it once, different psychologist's office. Now I'm back here in this whole programmatic environment. I was actually asked, what do you think its name is? And I could like take myself into this astral environment, feel the same energy from it. And it would show up to me visually, like this very silver fractalizing type energy. And in one of the experiences, it was telling me that his name was Sylvia. So later on, it was brought back in, and I was essentially like this in-between process to better understand what they couldn't understand about it, right? So it didn't telepathically link with anyone else. It wouldn't talk to anyone else. They didn't know what this thing was basically my understanding. So I would be given tasks on like, hey, we need you to go talk to Sylvia, and we need you to come back with like a schematic. We want you to draw how it works. or we want you to give us a blueprint on how it works. We need you to ask it these things. We need you to go back and forth.
Do you remember anything that it transmitted to you?
Yeah. So here's the really interesting things with it, right? So here's this crystal orb device, fractal, right? It was sentient and conscious and felt alive. It didn't communicate through mouth. It communicated telepathically. As it would communicate telepathically, the first and foremost, like the most interesting thing is that it was feminine, right? So it wasn't like, this is just an interesting dynamic. Like it had, like from an auditory sensation, it had more of a female's voice. It would describe and introduce itself to me as more feminine. And I think this is like really interesting as we begin thinking about like deep dimensionality and like metaphysics and how gender perhaps like scales throughout dimensions. I don't think it goes away, right? I think like here, this third dimension, human experience, it's like, yeah, you're male or female, right? And fixed, or, you know, some fluidity in between that. But perhaps as you scale up outside of a body, or you're like a ascended consciousness, or you whatever Sylvia is, it's that gender was more of a spectrum. It wasn't like this fixed thing. And that would be something that was communicated to me. Also, it was essentially told to me in one of the earlier sessions that Sylvia represented more of this thing that we would equate to like a human thought form. And in the deepest communication session that I had with it, it was being shown to me that like Sylvia was human thoughts. Almost we as humans, everything we create, everything we think, everything we're consciously experiencing takes on some form somewhere else.
Yeah, I know it's a long video, but that was just wild. Just thinking like the possibilities of an alien relic, an ancient AI, feminine AI-ish. I know they didn't say AI, but you know, kind of, you know, intelligence orb. I don't know. I guess anything is possible for sure. Anything is possible. It's a wild. I'm curious. I'm going to go back and listen to that whole interview, because that must be some wild stuff to listen to. You know, the concept, everything. Oh, Ross Cohart is up at it again. Like I said.
All right, we will go to our next question on this event.
Again, like, it's so much into the media. It's so much into everything right now. Like I said, there's the Psyop of all Psyop is coming. Yeah, James, I might have to check it out, I guess. Maybe if it pops up on YouTube movies, I'll watch it. Watch it for free on YouTube.
All right, we will go to our next question on this event. This is from Bucky. What does Ross think about Grush mentioning several specific types of NHI, sentient plasmoid and corporeal bipedal extraterrestrials?
Well, I'm not going to give away anything from the Steven Spielberg film, but I tell you, that was the weirdest part for me, is going from the Steven Spielberg film, where, let's just say, one becomes aware of the possibility of bipedal humanoids that aren't human. And then the next day, David's standing on the steps of the Capitol, a man who was cleared for 2,000 special access programs plus, a man who delivered the presidential daily brief to the White House personally in a briefcase. This is a guy who knew and knows the secrets of the United States related to UAPs. And yes, he referred to a range of beings. This is echoing, of course, what Dr. Eric Davis gave testimony on in the Congress recently, where Eric talked about 4 species. David Grush particularly referred to bipedal humanoid beings, which I take to be both the Nordics and the Greys, if such beings exist, of course, one must keep an open mind, through to what he referred to as sentient plasmoids. Now, this is really interesting because there is evidence of sentient plasmoids. We know from Story Musgrave's evidence as an astronaut that he saw what he believed were plasmoids apparently operating intelligently in proximity to the space shuttle that he was on. And he talked about this publicly for a while before I'm sure he was told to shut the hell up. I'm aware that the United States is researching sentient plasmoids, and so is at least one private organization. And this is a very interesting area because, of course, it doesn't just take in the orbs, it takes in everything that displays plasma. And is there, I mean, this is a really interesting question, is there some kind of life form that's sharing this planet with us that displays itself in different forms in a plasmoid way? I'm wondering whether there are private groups that are on the brink of a major discovery about this and not too far away from an impending announcement. Interesting times.
Was that a hint, Ross? One of your Ross hints?
Can't say any more.
Gotcha. I'm on to you.
Oops. Oopsie. What's up, Golden Psy? Appreciate you being here. Yeah, like I said, it's the different types, the tall whites, Nordics, and like I said, you keep on seeing these pictures with Trump and Nordics, tall whites looking creatures, or people, or whatever. I mean, I think even Matt Walsh. Let's see if I can find it because I know I didn't say none because it was just I don't know. And some of it was like, I mean, some of it, is so. There's so much footage and crazy stuff and. Oh. And there's all the stuff that's they're faking and everything too. It's the bad part. And they even supposed ones that are trying to get disclosure, and they want this stuff to come out, and they'll share videos that we know guaranteed is fake, and it's like, man, well, we know that's there's no doubt it's not not fake or whatever. Let me share this real quick. Get it. According to this, with these Nordic, share this tab. It's actually the King's Guard of Norway. I guess that's the style of hair they're supposed to have. Is have long blonde hair, and they all like 6'6", 6'8". But Trump ain't a small dude. And this one, it looks kind of pale. A little sickly. Yeah, I don't want to do that. Yeah. I don't know. like I said, there's so much false information, so much crap that they're throwing out there. Just trying to see what they're talking about. And Jay Anderson posted this 10 hours ago. He said, I love how NASA once was like, oh, well, yeah, well, we did this experiment on the moon, and it actually rang like a bell for 8 hours. But nobody cares. You don't hear too many people talking about it, for sure. What do y'all think? Do you think there's actually something inside the bell? The bell. The moon? Is it hollow? It did ring like a bell, supposedly. And it's one of them things, it's matter where you're sitting at, because, so many people like, we don't believe them. They get out of the moon. They ain't even been to the moon. So, if you don't believe they went to the moon, then guaranteed, I'm kind of torn on it myself. I think they probably went to the moon. The original moon landing, all that was, Buzz even said it was just, that wasn't real live footage. There's videos of him saying it, when they showed it shut down and all that. Because there's no way. They acted like it was real footage. But we know what we've seen, and them on a regular old phone going, hello. Hello, Neil Armstrong. How you doing on the moon? We know that was bullshit. The news reporters could only video a screen. They couldn't tap into the feed, and maybe they didn't have the technology they could do that. Yeah, there's the moon, the way the moon works and the way the things, and then you hear ancient old stories of tribes and passed down knowledge talking about the time before the moon was here. It's like, are they talking like completely no moon here, or it was just, they were trying to explain the new moons? But they talk about a time when there was not a moon there, and then it showed up. Which, if it showed up, then it had to, we know it affects the the tides and everything like that. So, and it affects crazy people too, because it turns around, and on full moons, more people go into hospitals and go to jail on full moon nights, because and we've seen that. And if all of a sudden that's kind of gravitational pull all of a sudden hit, all of a sudden, is that what caused all the catechisms? And I can't even talk tonight. I'm tired. Everything that happened. Maybe that what took out the last, great society. I don't know. Anything is possible. Barron Trump is a tall white. He could be. I don't know where he got all that height from. Which I've known people like that before. I got a friend of mine, 6'5", and his dad's like 5'8". His mom isn't very tall either. So, where did he come from? But, that's possible. But, yeah, he does look different. He carries himself different, Move my phone. Let's try to. I don't know why it does that sometimes. Sometimes the phone can sit there for all this time. I don't know if y'all could hear that or not. It sat there for over an hour and didn't do nothing to my headphones. So I don't know if it gave that. Sometimes I know others can hear that interference, but if you did, I apologize. And other times it won't do anything. And this is what, again, I'll show this again. This is what the aliens are thinking of us. What's up, Count Tropula? And that part I wouldn't doubt. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into the politics. BS. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. Like I said, I don't have a whole lot. I was hoping to be there is that weird time traveling book by Baron Trump from the 1800s. That is another one of them quinkydinks. It's really odd. It really is. Yeah, and then I've heard sightings of multiple moons, James. Which could be, maybe they're seeing a mothership or something pop up everywhere.
You would like to speak? Yeah, go ahead. So, this action, 500,000 square miles were closed to American fishermen. You couldn't go and fish. 500,000 square miles. I mean, just think of how big that is. And if you had an American flag, you weren't allowed there. But of course, everybody else went. So they went in our waters. These are our waters. And so what did that result in? That resulted in us, instead of having seafood exports, because we have great fishing opportunity, we were an importer. We became an importer of seafood. How crazy is that? So the president is finally changing that. This is a massive win for our fishermen, massive win for our waterfront communities who process it, all these processors. And in the end, we are going to eat fish caught by us. What a shock. Eating fish caught by us in our waters. So this is just common sense, smart. We already have the best conservation rules in the world. And this was one on top of another on top of another. So thank God from the fisherman's perspective, and I get these calls all the time, that President Donald Trump is in this office because he's finally letting our great fishermen and fisherwomen get out there and catch fish and stop importing fish. Let's eat fish caught by Americans. Thank you. Thank you.
Which is crazy to think about. Like, if they weren't allowing our own fishermen to fish in our own waters, that don't make sense. But, the global economy and global politics, it does not surprise me. Like I said, that, it's one of them things, to me, is Trump is such an enigma of, like, he does good things. Like, I think this is a positive thing. Like, we should be should be a free market at least. Hey, let our fishermen want to fish in them waters, let them, if they want to allow the other countries to do it too, that's whatever. I don't care. But he does good things, and then he does such stupid, terrible shit. I guess that's the yin and yang, maybe. The general. This is real. There are going to be. Peter Thiel is holding a elite meeting for special, let's say, special people, who was asked to be there. Closed doors, Bilderberg style. Talking on preparations for World War III and who knows what else. Because like we said before, I know when Jamie's been on there, I think we kind of, and Dave, we've said it. It's even how do I want to word this here? How's the words? The words want to come out of my mouth. J.D. Vance, I do believe, was put in the position he is because of Peter Thiel and all of them. That was, he went from, pretty new into politics. All of a sudden, he changed his name a couple times. There's lots of weird little quirks about it. Now you even got Joy Behar over here from The View. Oh yeah, he's a good guy. I think now I met him. I think he's gonna be. J.D. Vance will be our next president. If I'm wrong, I'd be shocked. 2028 is gonna be J.D. I don't know who they're gonna run with him though. I'm curious on that. But because that's going to be he'll allow all the AI and all that IT tech infrastructure to take over, and that would put the opportunity, and that would put the last thing, if you believe properly, the 2030 agenda, and would put it all together right there. That put good timing. That give them 2 years to work that little magic. As you see, as Trump can write his name and sign orders, just like they all have before. So yeah, I don't know. It's just be cautious and be aware of the situations going on. This video here I thought was funny. After everything they've told us, I swear everything that the green and the save the planet people and all this stuff, and I agree, we don't need to be doing a lot of the things we were doing. We don't need to be pumping poisons in our water streams. We don't need to be killing our fish. We don't need to be doing all these kind of things. But the ones jumping up and down, of course, and then climate, just like they did in Brazil, and they bulldozed and made a road through the rainforest, which is one of the most, supposedly, which I believe it is, but one of the most important, things we have in the world that keeps the, temperatures down and makes our air cleaner and all that kind of stuff. Rainforest is very important. And they turned around and they bulldozed it before they could fly in on their jets. And then they didn't even have the meeting. But they were talking about how cows pumped out so much CO2 that we need less cows. But now,
So you'll be reading it, so it's not coming from my mouth. I'm not making it up. But the University of Nebraska just got done with their one of their studies that the way to save the world on carbon is raise more cows. Okay. And that's because cows are carbon negative. Okay. They produce more oxygen than they put off methane and carbon.
It means to eat more cheeseburgers or steaks, right? Beef. To save the world.
To save the world, right.
There you go. Thank you.
So now they're saying the totally opposite. I wonder who paid for that study. There's always my number one question. When I hear a study, who paid for that damn study? Who paid for it? Because we know, especially with all the lawsuits and stuff with big tobacco, we know a lot of the studies were actually faked and BS and absolute garbage. Cigarettes aren't habit forming. They are great. They'll help you lose weight. They'll do all these amazing things. You know, especially you see them old black and white movies and the commercials in it, and you turn around and camel is yeah, camel is recommended by 4 out of 5 doctors because of the smooth taste and the blah blah. Get out of here, man. We know they manipulated the things to make it look good. We know they manipulated things to, you know, just like the lumber industry and other demonized hemp and got it looking bad. So they, you know, because how much better hemp was, the cotton industry. The cotton and the lumber industry lobbied against hemp and they had it demonized because you got something that grows faster and it's stronger. On the cotton side, it's stronger than cotton. It grows faster than trees, so you can use it for paper, which our Constitution was written on a damn, and maps and rope and everything that sailed the seas. And I imagine hemp rope was what probably drug stones, 100 million ton stones up on top of the pyramid. But it was demonized because of propaganda and BS. Guess we'll give a little Jesse Waters a little time to BS and talk.
Donald Trump walked into the G7 and the whole world fell in line. Literally.
Voilà. Parfait. Eh bien, join the concert. Thank you.
Oil's down to $70 a barrel. Dow smashing records. Iran signed on the dotted line, and Trump did it all before dinner, which, by the way, is on Macron.
I was leaving in the afternoon, and then the French president, who happens to be a very nice man, invited me to dinner at Versailles. And Versailles is not a gold leaf. Versailles is the real deal. And I said, I'd like to do it. I mean, you know, all it means is that I get home later in the evening, meaning early in the morning, and I'm not a big sleeper anyway.
Everybody wants a piece of 47. Qatar's first in line. This time, they didn't bring a check. They brought a fortune.
Qatar is going to be investing much more than $1 trillion in the United States. We have over 18, it's going to be 19.4 or so when it figures out. But, you know, we set a record. There's never been anything like it. No country in history has had that kind of investment.
The Germans couldn't swing those numbers, so they went custom. The boys got right down to business. Trade, tariffs, Taiwan. Try again. Everybody wanted to talk about Iran. Now, 47 certainly knows how to work a room abroad. It's Washington that's nasty.
Very nice looking person. Is he from your country? Is he from your country? Absolutely. No, he's got such a nice way about him. My people are so mean. Look at him, handsome guy. Be careful. No, I can put him in a movie right now.
Trump knows when you run the room, you set the volume. And 47's barely moving his mouth.
How we can make our relationship even better. We love it. Thank you, my friend. See, when you're that rich, you can speak that lowly. I was just wondering, can anybody hear that? But when you're so rich, you have such confidence, and you don't have to do any strain to the voice. He's great.
When it comes to Iran, Trump's not whispering. He wants the whole world to read his lips, word for word.
I'll not only release it, I'll probably have a press conference and read it to you word by word so that the press covers it accurately, because it's a very important document. And unlike Obama, who could have destroyed the Middle East with a horrible JCPOA, it is the worst agreement. That was a road to a nuclear weapon. Mine is a wall against a nuclear weapon. He paid a fortune for it. We paid nothing.
Every leader at the G7 flew in for one thing, Iran. They want this deal done yesterday. But Trump's not in any rush. We've already gotten everything we wanted. 90% of their missiles are destroyed. 85% of their defense plants are gone, so they can't rearm. No Navy, no Air Force, no air defense. And most importantly, no nukes, ever. Their uranium's buried. All 3 nuke sites, the caves, the tunnels, their secret chambers, collapsed. Their centrifuges shattered. Their nuclear scientists all dead. They can't enrich because they can't get down there. Only we can. And if we extract it and destroy it, they get sanctions relief. But if we don't, doesn't matter. The dust's in a grave that the Persians can't penetrate.
Has Iran said they would welcome the U.S. coming in? How specific?
Iran will be just fine. What's happening is that at an appropriate time, there's no rush at all. We have cameras from space on it. We know everybody that goes there, which is like nobody. The B-2 bombers hit it. The entire mountain collapsed inside it. It's a very tough excavation.
Trump's not stressed. On Friday, the Strait opens. War's over, and oil's flowing.
Ships are starting to move now. We're going to have it fully open by Friday. The ships are starting to move nicely. Oil is starting to go, and the prices are coming down rapidly. Stock market is going up rapidly. A lot of good things are happening. And most importantly, Iran will not have a nuclear weapon.
The Obama deal was 159 pages long. The media didn't even read it. They just called it genius. And what did it actually do? It built the runway for an Iranian nuke and paid for it. They could enrich, they could stockpile. They had missiles galore to protect their precious nuke program. Now, they don't have a nuke program. You can't enrich what you can't touch. Trump's deal, a page and a half. No room for fine print and no room for a nuke. The only way Iran gets money unfrozen is if they do what we tell them. If they make mischief, which they might, the bank closes, the blockade goes up, and it's bombs away. Kamala says she wishes the Ayatollah was still rich, armed, and alive.
If you were president, does that war even happen?
So are we going to have this conversation? I'm happy to.
Sure. Yeah.
First of all, this is a war the American people did not want. This is a war of choice.
But to be clear, if you were president, you never start this war.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Trump's creating a new world order. And if our allies don't play ball, they get a spanking.
Israel's fighting Hezbollah.
I don't like how their terminology they're putting. I've seen it in a few other posts. Trump, they had it even on the screen there, on Fox. The Trump world order, the new world order. Why are they using this terminology? Ask yourself that.
Too long, and too many people are being killed. And you don't have to knock down an apartment house every time you're looking for somebody, because there are a lot of people in those apartment houses, and they're not all Hezbollah.
Now, when it comes to Hezbollah, he's got a better idea.
I suggested to Israel to let Syria take care of Hezbollah. Because to be honest with you, I think they do a better job of doing it.
Whatever happens, if Iran can't control Hezbollah, no sanctions relief. So they either tell them to stand down and get paid, or they let them fight, they die, and they don't.
We have the cards, and if they don't honor the commitment, we'll figure out what to do when we get there.
I would say that means go back and resume bombing.
It could.
It could be. And he would, I don't think he would hesitate.
It could mean the blockade goes back on, Sean. It could mean a lot of things, but what the president has said is he doesn't want to do those things. He wants Iran to be a normal country. They've got to act like it.
And if Iran gets frisky, read his lips just one more time.
They will not develop, purchase, buy, or any other thing. They're not going to acquire a nuclear weapon. If they do, all hell will rain down on them.
Everything's breaking Trump's way. Iran.
Yeah, New World Order. These are 10 global kings will bow to one. Look, why are they putting this term? Why are they using this verbiage? Why are they using this verbiage?
Iran's nuclear ambitions are toast. Their military's been throttled, and their economy sustained $1 trillion in damage. Every objective Trump laid out on the very first day of the war has been achieved. But because Iran's a police state and severely wounded, they're cherry picking from the term sheet and spinning that they're getting all this money up front as part of a PR campaign to save face. JD was on the 5 today and addressed those leaks. Listen.
Yeah, so just to literally address a couple of things, because I think you're making the same mistake, unfortunately, that a lot of the Iranian propagandists make when they talk about this,
Like
which
the
is
Wall Street Journal?
they talk about the benefits to the Iranians without any of the things the Iranians would have to give up and have to change in order to get those benefits. So we're fundamentally saying if the Iranians transform how they interact with the world, we will transform how the world economy interacts with Iran. But if they don't do any of that stuff, they don't get any of these benefits.
So don't be a panicking. Primetime's been briefed on the deal. You know the damage that's been done to the enemy. You've seen it. You've heard it. You'll see the text soon, word for word.
Yeah, lies, lies, lies. Yeah, it's like I said. That's that. The verbiage they're using, the pictures in the background, New World Order, Trump World Order. What in the blue hell we got ourselves into now? Says it here on his post. Come on now. We don't want to hear Jesse twice. We can only deal with him once. One small clip a night, a week. That's it, all we can deal with. But yeah. Trump's New World Order is here. What in the blue hell is going on?
You know, who can look at progressive atheistic culture and say, like, for example, if you believe that Jesus is the Son of God, rose from the dead on the third day, there are a lot of progressives who will say, you're a crazy person, you believe in superstitions. And those same people will tell you that if a grown man takes some hormonal therapies that Big Pharma told them to take, that person will become a woman. It's like, actually, you believe something that's far crazier and clearly a violation of nature. Mm-hmm. And I think that there is this deep sense of purpose and meaning that everybody's seeking. And I think what's great, I mean, obviously I'm a Christian, so I'm going to say this, but what's great about Christianity is it's a healthy way to find meaning. But if you try to find all of your meaning in politics, or you try to find all of your meaning in worldly things, I think it has a very distorting effect. And again, that's like part of how I found my way back to faith. Because I was an atheist, I thought I was better than everybody, and I realized, you know what? This is actually not making me a very good person.
Or a happy person.
You know, who...
Just leave that there. Play Adam Carell real quick. We'll talk.
When people do that thing, it's always like when people go, and it always drives me nuts. They go, yeah, I know, CNN, they got their agenda, but you know, Fox got an agenda too. Fox, you know, they're both doing their thing. I go, okay, let's check their batting average on COVID. Because CNN fucking lied about everything and was wrong about everything. Right. And Fox was right about everything. And CNN was wrong about it. Should we go with Hunter Biden's laptop? Should we go with Joe Biden being senile? Let's pick a subject and we'll figure out who's... Well, they're both saying something different. And they both have an agenda. But one person, one side is wrong all the time and lying. And the other side has a much higher batting average. And so you can go... People do that, you know, Republican, Democrat, they're all bad. The Democrats are batshit crazy. Right. You couldn't have said this during Bill Clinton's time, but now you can. And so you go, I don't like this whataboutism. Like they're both. One one side is pushing hard for transgender kids,
right,
and wants to overregulate and tax your fucking life, and wants Elon Musk dead,
and that's
basically. And the other side wants lower taxes, and they want to own guns, and they want the government to leave them alone.
And
so
they have like
fuck
more
you.
police on the streets.
Yes. Fuck you with all this shit, and I don't want my kid getting trans, and I don't want trans story hour at the local library. No, one side is not clinically insane.
Right.
They have their foibles. You may disagree with Iran or certain policies or foreign policy, but they're not batshit fucking crazy and ruining everything at the same time. The right did not ruin Los Angeles and California. The right didn't ruin Seattle. It didn't ruin Chicago. It didn't ruin Portland. The right didn't ruin anything. The left ruined shit. So stop being so magnanimous and I'm against all politicians. Yeah. No,
they're all corrupt.
Defund the police is a shit idea that gets people killed. Fund the police is a good idea that saves more lives. True. And abolish ICE is a batshit crazy idea too, and rounding up criminal felons is a good idea. So fuck off.
Tell them how you really feel, Adam. And you too, no doctors. That's what Adam Carrera said that shit. I didn't say that, so don't mess with me on my damn YouTube channel. Damn YouTube. Yeah. I do get more and more on the, two wings, same bird, blue and red. The bad thing I see, I kind of, in a way that I halfway agree with him, is the extremist. It seems there's more and more, but I don't think there's much as there's kind of more of a voice, but the extreme left is so vocal, and they'll get out and raise 10 kinds of shit to show their
when people do that thing.
Yeah, I hear. And get their ideas of whatever insanity they have out there, If it makes no sense, it's all feeling, only science when it fits their narrative. If we're supposed to be getting jabs and shit, well, then it fits the narrative. But if it's anything else, it's... Yeah, I don't blame it. It's at the end of the day, the two-party system has made to divide our country. It's made us, you see the people, I'm only going to vote blue no matter who. I've talked to people like that. I've seen videos of people like that. No matter who, I'm voting blue. And it's like, we need to be able to just vote for whoever we think is the best candidate. If you believe in voting and think that makes a difference, then we should be able to vote for whoever the hell. We should not be able to be locked in that box. But on one side, we might be foobarred either way. I don't know. We'll see. I showed this video where the storm went around the White House. They're not manipulating the weather, no, whatsoever. No, they would never manipulate the weather for a fight.
But it's been an amazing partnership. But he will say, we're the big partner and he's the very small partner, and that's true. So happened, Israel would have been blown away. And in all fairness to Bibi Netanyahu, who happens to be a good man, gets a little excited sometimes. But he happens to be a very good man. We've had an amazing partnership. He's been an amazing prime minister. We have a little dispute over Lebanon. I say, you can do a little softer touch, Bibi. You don't have to knock down a building every time somebody walks into it that's from Hezbollah. But so...
He gets a little excited. That's all. Oh, let me play this video real quick. It is kind of funny. Like I said, and it makes you, and then you hear Jesse talk.
Hello. I'm the boss. How are you? Good, thank you. Okay. Thank you, President. Dear colleagues. So we have a photo.
Oh, yeah. Would you like to stay for the meeting? It's okay with me. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The boss is here, baby. Huh. And this is this. I'll play this. You know, this is kind of sad. I mean, I think it should be. I'll play
How
the video.
patriotic are
No, talk-
Americans feeling this morning? With us now, CNN chief data analyst.
We will
Harriet.
always remember Lexington and Concord, people. We will always remember it here on CNC.
Patriots Day versus the 4th. We know which one is more important, but the meaning of the 4th. When we ask voters about this, what do most of them say at this point?
This, to me, is one of the most stunning divides that we have seen. You know, we're talking about polarization in politics. It even comes down to what you believe July 4th actually is. Like, what does July 4th mean to you? Celebrate America, friends and family time. Among Republicans, what do you see? You see the clear majority say it's a time to celebrate America, 65%. Among Democrats, however, the plurality disagree. Look at that. What do you see? Friends and family time at 42% versus just 24% who say that what it means most to them is to celebrate America. So even on the basic question of what July 4th means to you, we have Republicans on one end saying celebrate America, more of them say that, and Democrats on the other end saying that it means more to them to have time with friends and family.
What do they say about the flag?
Yeah, okay, so what do they say about the flag? Even on the basic level of flag, look at this. Look at how we have an increasing polarization on this issue. We'll display the flag on July 4th, the American flag. Back in July of 2001, look at this. You had 68% of Republicans, 65% of Democrats.
That's before 9/11. We were kind of up in the air, and there was little disagreements, and we were divided. Not to the point we are now, but there was a divide in the nation, but everybody was still. But that's a crazy number.
Saying that they would, in fact, display the flag on July 4th. You come over to this side of the screen, Republicans basically are where they were 25 years ago, right? 64%. But look at that Democratic percentage, absolutely plummeting. Just 27% of Democrats say they will, in fact, display the flag on July 4th. Democrats and Republicans in different camps, even on the simple question of displaying the flag on July 4th, a polarization, a split that simply put did not exist a generation ago.
What about the sloganeering about proud to be an American?
Okay, what about this idea? Are you proud to be an American? Extremely or very proud to be an American? Again, look at this divide, a growing divide on this question. Back in January of 2001, 90% of Republicans, 85% of Democrats. This was after a very contentious 2000 election, keep in mind, right, with George W. Bush coming into the White House. You come over to this side of the screen in 2026. Look at this. Again, the Democratic percentage absolutely plummets to just 29% of Democrats say they're extremely or very proud to be an American. That Republican percentage, the exact same, 90 and 90. The Democratic percentage, what is that? That's basically a third of the level that it was just 25 years ago.
I think you're right to point out this was a time when Democrats might have been feeling badly about the course of the country. Still, 85% said they were proud to be American. Something's changed.
Something has absolutely changed, despite the fact a contentious time then, a contentious time now, and yet Democrats, that extremely very pride number has absolutely plummeted.
That's some crazy numbers, though. And of course, you know, that's just how he talks, James. He gets excited. That's just how he always is. He's wired. He's on like 3 energy drinks and a pot of coffee or something. I don't know, but it is a wild number. But I mean, of course, you can adjust your polls, but you do see that number. You do see that kind of mindset of, you know. It's wild that the GOP is absolutely the same across the board. 25 years later, they're absolutely the same. Crazy numbers. Here's a funny video real quick funny video.
Fuel going way down. You saw it yesterday, it went down $6, $7. With fuel going down, as goes fuel, so goes everything. I've always seen fuel going.
It's a circus, man. It really is. We are all watching a TV show. Trump says 6, 7, and the president of UAE is over there like 6, 7, looking ass fucker. I wonder what is he just, I don't know.
Closer you get to God, the harder the devil works on you. Well, the devil's working overtime now. He's cashing in that OT check. Probably spreading the wealth around too. Folks, something else is going to happen. If this is the last show I do, or Erica or anyone else, I just want it on the record that I was on the right side of this. And by the right side, I don't elevate myself or my character above you or anyone else. I just mean like the non-demon side. The closer you get to God, the harder.
And using the word demon again. He is right. If you're trying to get closer to God and you're trying to do right, you know, you are going to have everything come at you at all angles. But I wonder what is in the back of his head? Why would he come out and say that? What is the alternative meaning, or just, or he's just saying stuff to, fear monger? What's a good possibility? I don't know. It is Bongino. Thought this was kind of cool.
I think it's so important for people to be literate, extremely literate in what's going on with your phone, what's going on with your brain, and psyops, like the shit that we see coming out of the news right now. And I'm the guy that trains psyops. In 2 days after I leave here, I'm going to Fort Bragg to train the United States Army psyops division. I'm the guy.
What are you training them in? Are you allowed to say?
In psyops.
Are you just training them how they work and how to do it?
Yeah, like I'm the body language, like people reading guy. I don't know if you've ever seen our YouTube channel, The Behavior Panel.
Yes.
Me and a couple.
You got a great YouTube channel. It's awesome. Really good.
Thank you. Thanks. And I have another one with 3 other behavior profilers where we break down videos of people in interrogation and stuff like that. And I think it's so important to be literate in a lot of this stuff. And how does our brain work? How can I be compromised? And so I created a tool, and I gave it to Jamie before we started the show, that will give you a 1 to 100 score on how likely something is a psyop.
Oh.
And
is it an app or is it like on a
just
website?
a PDF.
Okay.
And you can run anything through it, and you can run it historically and see what's a psyop and what's not.
Mm.
And it's kind of subjective, but at least you get a standardized score for everything. And you can see, like, if you went to like the invading Iraq initially.
Okay, that's a good one.
That would score a 98 out of 100 for PSYOP, just on this tool here. So like it kind of goes in layers. So step one is like this pre-ignition. Like I have societal stuff going on. There's moral panic. Then operational, are there drills happening that are kind of similar to this? Military ramping up. The regulatory, obviously it's pretty there. Like bills getting passed at 2 a.m. and
Right.
5,000
Censorship
pages.
bills.
Yeah.
Right.
Then alignment. So like people suddenly aligning different news agencies, and then authorities, celebrities are starting to come out with the same messaging and stuff like that. And then media, like just kind of flooding little slogans and stuff. So if that kind of scores kind of high, and you don't even need the numbers right now, then we move to the next one. So has this happened before? The precursor anomalies, like have they done this before? Well, a matter of fact, they gave people LSD against their will at MK Ultra, or, whatever. Like, is there some precursor?
Right.
And then identical phrasing across unrelated outlets. So we see something on MSNBC and Fox saying the same kind of phrasing or something. That's kind of suspicious. And then introduced villains that are prepackaged. Pretty obvious. Injecting symbolism. And then the manufacturer urgency. Like if this bill isn't passed in the next 72 hours, we're going to face a national crisis and all this kind of stuff. And then you could just kind of go down the walkway, and it'll give you a predictive score of how likely something is a psyop. And one of the biggest things is if you don't want to, like, this is a lot of crap to memorize, but are you seeing authority figures resonate with each other, and is nuance not being presented to you? And that's like, if I'm not seeing nuance, if I have a left versus right issue and there's a prepackaged villain, that's a psyop. If you just look at those couple of things, nowadays we have a death of nuance, where no one's getting presented any nuance to anything. It's just It's either you're on this side, you're wearing this jersey or this jersey, which is really toxic to our whole entire country, the whole world.
And it's accentuated by clips and these weird little things.
Yeah, and if you're on the left,
take out nuance.
Let's say I'm on the left. When I log into social media, whatever it is, they're going to show me the dumbest shithead morons on the other side that they could possibly find.
Yep.
And the same thing if I'm on the right, they're going to show me the biggest idiots. And the only goal is being like me thinking, oh my God, these people are insane. And it's me thinking that's all of them.
Right.
But like if you go to Target right now and see somebody that voted differently than you want the same shit. You want your kids to be healthy. You want safety. You want to pay less taxes. You want the government less and less involved in your life. And they're not all insane, but the goal is to make you think all of the other side is insane, right? That's the ultimate psyop. So then at the end here, you kind of get a 1 to 100 score. And I bought a TV station. Did I tell you about this?
No.
I was going to text you, or I was going to send you an email about this. I bought a TV station. We started our own daily news show where we run the day's events all the way through the PSYOPs index every single day. And we show, here's how you're being presented. Here's how you're being made to feel about this issue. Here's where nuance has been taken out. Every single thing that's like truly going on. Here's the bill that got passed that nobody's talking about that has a lot to do with this. They're saying the Strait of Hormuz is going to open, but here's what Brent crude is predicting oil prices at. So the insurance market has a lot more info than the news is going to give you. So like try to give you every single day. Here's how you're being made to feel. Here's the actual news. Here's what the left is going to say. Here's what the right's going to say. And here's where they're killing nuance. Here's where you're being presented a binary choice. And I think I'm trying to, I want to make PSYOPs irrelevant. And what we have to do, what are the steps we have to take to not really inoculate people from PSYOPs, but just to make them so fucking visible that it's just obvious. And yeah, they're going to have to invent something else, and they will, but at least for a few years, people are really wise to everything. Like, this is very obvious, because like all the things that were up on that sheet right there, if you look at that a few times, it starts to become irrelevant. And like, my goal is to make people more expensive to influence.
Yeah. It's interesting to hear the PSYOP number, and like this is on this level, or explain that on the 1 to 100. is kind of because we had to be careful of that stuff. Like there's like I said earlier, you know, a lot of this stuff I believe is like I said, I believe the psyop of all psyop is about to be upon us. Very well. We got 3 more videos here in the politics, and we'll move on. We'll get away from politics. I hope this goes through right here. I do like this right here with RFK's.
Every hospital in the country is now going to have to publish their prices clearly, legibly beforehand. If you go to buy a car and the guy says, well, I'm going to sell you the car, but I'm not going to tell you the price till after you bought it. Would you buy it? If you go to a restaurant and look at the menu, the prices are there. Healthcare is the only place where you can't see your prices. If you're pregnant in this country, you can go 9 months trying to figure out how much it's going to cost you to have that baby, and you will not be able to do it in many, many hospital systems. And so now you're going to be able to do it. We already have, I looked at the mock-up of the webpage yesterday, and it was extraordinary. It showed, I asked the question, how much does it cost to have a baby within a mile of Manhattan with 30 hospitals? And they all have different prices. The lowest price was $1,300. The highest price was $22,000. And everything in between, $9,000, $5,000, $7,000 is complete information, pricing chaos. How does that happen? It happens because there's no marketplace.
I wonder how that's going to work, you know, because I know right now, like, you know, especially, you know, you go to a hospital and they'll turn around and tell you, you know, if you don't have insurance, a lot of times they'll knock it in half. They'll, well, we'll give you 50% off or whatever. I've heard many people tell the story about like what he was just talking about, the cost of pregnancy, and turn around and they would turn around and ask, get my words how I want to say them. You know, if he went up there and said you didn't have any insurance, it was cost so much less to say you would pay for having a baby if you didn't have insurance than you did what the cost was on the deal for if you had insurance. Yeah, RFK, he's another one. Like he's trying to do some good things. A lot of people want to talk bad about him. They want, well, he's not a doctor. He's not this. You know, which of course, if you look at, you know, his position, most times in the history of the country, there's not been a doctor in that position. Very few. And so, but he, you know, he has tried to, and he seemed to stay consistent throughout the years of, hey, he wants to, you know, try to help. Especially because he talks about, like, you know, having a flu vaccine is the reason, you know, behind his voice the way it is and having an extreme side effect. So, of course, people want to, like, well, he's got worms in the brain and all this other crap. Like, everybody wants to demonize RFK Jr. You know, especially for his voice. But I think there are certain things that he is trying to help with. I think this is one of them right here. Some of the other things he's done.
Every hospital in the
come on, stop that, Twitter. You know, this is one of the ones that he is doing good. I think this is an excellent thing. We should be able to see what the hell. Like, you go to a doctor, you know, and when you wait till you get the bill a month later, and all of a sudden you see them $100 Tylenols. If I knew they're going to charge me $100 for a Tylenol, I probably wouldn't have took it. I'm like, I'm good. I go send somebody to go get me a Tylenol for, you know, $4 for a bottle. Trump thanking XI for being neutral in Iran. He also thanked Putin. He made it a lot better. I don't even play the video we were on about. And then he's actually signing the deal there in front of Macron and all them. So maybe, let's say, maybe things will get back to normal on gas prices. We can get them back down. Here's hope. We'll see. Like I said, it's going to take some time. As always, it's going to take time to get the crap back down. Nothing's going to be fast about it whatsoever. And that's all. And if something don't happen, hopefully they take this damn 5% ethanol back out of this shit. I wish they'd take all the ethanol back out of it. I've been running ethanol free in my Jeep, and I gained like 5 miles a gallon. If I burn this E15 they're giving us right now for regular gas, I'm flying through a tank of gas. If I turn around and get a full tank of non-ethanol, that tank lasts for a long time. Your car may be, well, what's the thing? How it says, your resorts may be different. I know that non-ethanol and lawnmowers and small engines absolutely work better. Non-ethanol and older vehicles would absolutely work better, and you have to be careful because it's not made for older engines.
I'm grateful.
But here, let me play some feel-good stuff. Yeah, Brother William, prices go back down, but the rest of the shit is going to stay high as hell. Absolutely. Except for TVs, because they're selling everything you watch on there and all the ads, and they're selling all your information on the TV. So, because you got to have a smart TV. Oops. This is pretty funny. The guy talking so calmly in the background of the, and then this person in this other car is absolutely going ape shit in a hurry. But the wording is really good. It's kind of funny watching the person go ape shit. I
am grateful. I am grateful for this moment. Not because it's perfect, because it's mine. Someone else's urgency is not my emergency. I do not need to match anyone's energy. I don't need to defend my pace. I am exactly where I'm supposed to be, moving at the speed of my purpose. Other people's storms don't have to become my weather. I am grateful for the peace I've chosen. I am grateful I no longer need anyone's approval to feel secure. I am grateful. I am grateful.
That woman was acting a fool. Absolutely acting a fool. This is pretty cool. This dude's big and jacked. Look at the veins coming out his forearm and stuff. There's that music. And look at the gorilla. Huh. Weak ass. I thought we were just sitting there looking at it like, come on, dude. What are you doing? What are you doing, buddy? All right, watch this. See what I can do? Huh. Nothing. This is pretty cool right here. Now, this is, I tagged Whitney in this. A former Russian paratrooper and man, I can't talk tonight. Double amputee Rustam Nabiev made history by becoming the first person to summit Mount Everest using only his arms and no prosthetic limbs. He went all the way to the top of Mount Everest, just straight arm power. Check this out. It's just a short little clip, but holy hell.
All day light, all night light, let's get it light, let's get it light, let's get it light, let's get it light.
That's determination. That's determination right there. That's pretty awesome. This one here is pretty funny. This, I think they can. I think horses can sense. They can. They can. They absolutely can. They can sense the fear in somebody, and they can fence it near. And horses have their own personality, and they do their own thing. They want whatever they want to do. And this horse wanted to F with this lady, and it's pretty humorous how. I bet she never gets on a horse again after this, but watch this.
Yep. Oh, God damn, you fat bitch. Wait.
Kale.
I didn't even shave my legs. All right, wait, I got to get the mane.
Grab on. Swing your leg over.
Can I pull this?
Yeah, pull that.
1, 2.
Jump.
Oh.
Fuck. Ho. You ever pulling back on him like that, he don't like it, he's gonna go backwards, there's a chance he's gonna come up,
and then I'm off.
If he's never done this, but if there's a chance you're pulling on his face and he decides to come up, let go.
Okay.
Just let go and let God.
Okay.
Because if you continue to pull when he's up here, he's gonna come over backwards.
Okay.
On top of you.
So when he starts speeding up and I get scared,
easy.
Gently.
Hold.
Okay.
Yep. Just hold. Yeah. Let's walk.
Let's walk, Fusi.
You want to keep your feet, you want to keep pressure in your stirrups.
Why is he taking off, Matt?
Because you're letting him.
Why is he?
Whoa. Pull back. Pull back.
Whoa.
Pull back.
Whoa.
Oh,
Whoa.
shit.
Whoa. I'm done. Matt, make him stop.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Oh my God.
Stop.
Oh, shit.
Okay. Whoa.
Okay, now just stay right there.
Stop.
Pull back.
Whoa.
Pull back. Fuck.
Whoa.
Hell.
Whoa.
Oh, shit.
Whoa.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
Just get off.
Yeah, that's not good. Not gonna lie.
Whoa.
Are you okay?
Whoa.
Shit, I can't breathe. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Whoa.
Okay.
Whoa.
Oh. Okay.
Whoa.
Hold on, I'm coming. I can't breathe. Hey, you actually stayed on pretty good. Were you scared?
Understatement.
Yeah.
Whoa. You okay? Should I move?
Huh?
Is he pissed?
Yeah.
Yeah. I eventually let go of this guy right here. And then I just held on to this. Because I didn't want to piss him off. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here, you drop that.
Okay. You know what?
Is everyone okay?
Are you good? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Look at these marks.
My thong is so far up my ass crack right now that I might have a cut.
So I don't think we're gonna barrel race.
I never want a barrel race in my life.
Okay.
I think you can hear the heartbeat in my microphone.
I thought you were done right there, and I thought, okay, he's good.
Same.
She's gonna be able to get off.
I let go of the reins because I was not trying to hurt him.
They can. All animals have their own personality. They really do. And yeah, that's and he just took her for a ride. He was like, nah. For whatever reason, he did not like it. Possums. Possums just fall over, I swear, and just, how in the world? How in the world? The fish is called a danguo. Danguo. A scientific name is Lethrotremus awa. Awi. Maybe awi. I bet it's awi. It lives in the cold waters of Japan. But check out these little dudes. Turn that music off. I guarantee it's gonna look. You can see. First you're like, man, what is that? But it look like little rocks with mold on it or something, but or like fish that be on Minecraft or something. I don't know. Yeah, it's like I said, I didn't have a whole lot. Didn't have a whole lot for tonight. Only a little over 2 hours of stuff tonight. Not much for me, but yeah, it is what it is. I hope y'all enjoyed it. We should be a fun. We got some more fun shows coming up. I got some guests lined up, working on some details and everything like that. After the 4th, I sure have a great guest if everything pretty much got locked in. Gonna be some amazing stuff. Gonna talk about Epstein and stuff like that. How he still could be possibly still alive. It will be a very, very good show. Week after next, I think it'll be 2 weeks. I think. I don't know, but yeah, we're trying to lock in, so pay attention. Make sure for the lurkers, make sure you subscribe, hit the like, do all the little things, all the things you're supposed to do. Make sure you help promote the channel because I'm trying to get get amazing guests. We have James and myself every Sunday, and we've been getting guests, all kinds of ghost hunters and all kinds of folks coming in, talking. I have a few in my email right now. We're, like I said, working on details and getting stuff. So I had some more people reach out and stuff like that. So we're gonna keep on keeping on. I like to say after 100, we're shooting for 200, and after 200, we're gonna keep on rocking on with the Talking with Conspiracy. I got some premium content on the way on the Rumble side, so wait for that. If you're not a premium member, of course you won't be able to see it, but it's going to be some good content. I got that coming soon. But as always, I appreciate y'all. And as always, man, y'all make sure to check out our friends. A lot of the people are in the chat have their own shows, so make sure you check that out. I know the links have been dropped by Sweets. Thank you, Mr. Willie. I'm trying. We will say, as always, I'm trying. I give my 100%. No, whatever I'm doing, I'm giving my 100%. Some days are better than others. Some days are really good. You never know. Especially lately with it just, I'm almost like I'm back to work again, working on that, doing the scrapping and stuff. So today, me and a friend of mine, we loaded up almost 7,000 pounds of stuff in my trailer in like 3 hours by hand. That was a workout. So then I got back here, kind of got cleaned up, and here we are on here. So, but like I said, as always, I appreciate y'all, and I might pop up Rumble. I might send y'all somewhere. You never know. We'll see how it goes. Let's see. I'll see if I find somebody online it's worth sending y'all to. If I do, I don't. But I appreciate y'all. Like as always, man. It's an honor to do this for y'all. As always, it really is. So I'm gonna hit that outro music, and it's gonna have. I do have something for Rumble. We're gonna send y'all away in just a second. But let's hit our outro music. And like I said, much love, y'all. I really do appreciate y'all. And here we go.
Shackles, don't want no shackles on me. Don't want no shackles, don't want no shackles on me. I sat down with Big Brother, don't like those RFIDs. Got the blues about my freedom. Got the blues about tyranny. I got the blues about my freedom. Got the blues about tyranny. I sat down with Big Brother and the national ID. Don't want a chip in my wallet, chip in my car. And if I want to travel, it's nobody's business how far. Don't want no shackles. Don't want no shackles on me. I said shame on Big Brother, always tracking and tracing me. Don't want a chip in my mother, chip in my wife, a chip in my babies. Stay out of our life. Don't want no shackles. Don't want no shackles on me. I sat down with Big Brother. No more slavery. Play it for me, baby. Now, do you want a chip in your forehead, a chip in your arm, always tweaking your brain and causing you harm? Don't want no shackles. Don't want no shackles on me. I sit down with Big Brother in the good old USA. I sat down with Big Brother, down with Big Brother, down with Big Brother, down with Big Brother, down with Big Brother. Don't want a spy chip in me. Everybody, I sat down with Big Brother, down with Big Brother, down with Big Brother, down with Big Brother, down with Big Brother. It's all about liberty.